the sports leader.
And away we go. Welcome to Dirty Work. Larry Krueger with you. No Copeland today. No D-Pop. We got very little show. We only got about an hour, maybe roughly an hour and a half. Not quite, because we got Giants baseball. The Giants start the unofficial second half. They're 95 games into 162, so it's the sprint for home, and it starts tonight in Toronto against the red-hot Blue Jays, who are playing great baseball. They're leading the American League East. They've won a bunch of games in a row at home, and they've got Chris Bassett on the bump against Verlander to start the unofficial second half. Giants starting the second half 6 games behind the Dodgers in the National League West, a half game behind the Padres for that third and final wild card spot in the National League. There are 3 wild card spots. We'll talk a little Giants baseball going into Giants Blue Jays. And if, of course, you want to jump on the line, feel free. Bang the number, 808 KNBR. But we're going to talk a little Niners as well. And I just want to clarify one thing that the boys were talking about in the last show. Today, the 49ers did make an announcement in regards to their roster, and they listed the following players as been on the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, which nobody wants to be on that list, right? I mean, come on, let's go. Physically unable to perform. I mean, that just doesn't, it gives you a bad vibe just across the board, whether you're a football player or not. But there you go. Right now, to start training camp, there's a big difference. To start training camp, the 49ers will have the following players on the PUP list: Brandon Aiyuk, offensive tackle Andre Dillard, defensive end Yetur Gross-Matos, safety Malik Mustafa, wide receiver Ricky Pearsall, linebacker Curtis Robinson. In addition to that, the following players have been placed on the NFI list, the active non-football injury list, which meant somehow they got hurt in the offseason doing something. It wasn't playing football, and they are on the NFI list, and that is Ben Barch, who, the hope is that Ben Barch is going to step in for Aaron Banks at left tackle, or left guard, I should say, next to Trent Williams, and be the Niners' starting left guard this year. And if it's not Ben Barch, it's going to be a wide open deal, and it might be Connor Colby. It might be a rookie starting at left guard. And there's a number of other options, Spencer Burford and others who will probably get a look. Nick Zakelj, Drake Nugent. I mean, the Niners do have a number of backup players. Austin Pleasance is a tackle, but who knows? Maybe he could play guard. So Ben Barch and George Odom on the NFI list to start camp. Aiyuk, Dillard, Gross-Matos, Mustafa, Pearsall, Robinson on the PUP list, physically unable to perform list to start camp. Now, you say, well, what did those guys say that's not right? They were just talking. I mean, Greg Silver was talking about how, these guys are going to miss 4 games. They will only miss 4 games if they're on this physically unable to perform list after the cutdown. So today's decision does not take Ricky Pearsall off the field for September. Okay, so do not confuse that. Ricky Pearsall, I mean, it's not good news, don't get me wrong, right? The Niners have been saying he's healthy. Oh, are you kidding me? He's healthy. The guy's totally healthy. Really? He's hurt all the time. At this point, he's like fine china. He's just very, very, handle him with very good care. Bubble wrap, tissue paper. I mean, no sharp edges. Anything at all can hurt Ricky at this point. I'm kind of being a smartass, but he has been consistently hurt since he has been a Niner. So they told us in OTAs that he was just being held out for precautionary reasons. Say, hey, you'll see him in camp. But suddenly his injuries are going to linger into camp. So it is a concern. But do not confuse today's announcement with anything more than that. It's a concern that he's going to miss some camp, but it is not. Today's decision was not an announcement that Pearsall will not play in the first 4 games. The way the PUP list works is you have the initial PUP list, and those guys can come off that PUP list at any point. in camp, right? At any point. They don't have to be on there for a certain amount of days. They could come off tomorrow. They could come off, the last day of camp or never. All right. But then the Niners will pair their roster from whatever they are at camp, 90-man camp roster, to 53 men right before Labor Day, right before the start of the regular season. At that point, if you put guys on the physically unable to perform list at that point, at the cutdown, then they must miss a minimum of 4 football games. So Pearsall, I'm not saying he's going to be there week 1, but today's announcement does not take him out for the first month of the season. It just means that, he's not ready to go in camp. So that's not a good sign, but he's not out for the first month. That's the good news. So, and who knows? I mean, do I expect him to miss time? At this point, I probably expect him to be hurt more than I expect him to be healthy, because he's been hurt more than he's been healthy. If you look at his career at Florida and at Arizona State, he doesn't have massive production. Well, why is that? Probably because there were some injuries along the way. There were also other players there that he was competing with for playing time, but he really didn't have this overpowering. You looked at his resume and you said, man, he made some amazing catches. He's had some incredible moments. He definitely was productive, but it wasn't like this guy he didn't lead the nation in catches. He didn't lead the nation in touchdowns. He wasn't anywhere close to leading the nation in catches or touchdowns. So there's a little bit of kind of cross your fingers hope that Ricky can do this, because he hasn't really done it. It wasn't like he did it in the SEC and he just played every single game. He did it in the Pac-12 with ASU. He played every single game. No, it's been a limited sample size. So good luck to Ricky. I think he's very serious about getting on the football field. I know he wants to show everybody that he's durable, that he's not injury prone, but the old saying, man, you can't make the club in the tub. So we'll see. We'll see how this all shakes out. But he is not out for the first month, but he is out for the first practices, which will be starting on the 23rd of the month.